searching for a friend. Then you stumble on somebody's namely Matt, namely Ann, who are equally obsessed with why they make a thing again. Come on! Beauty and the Beast.
Hang on, I forgot my quote. Hang on, I'm just scrolling for it. Okay, here we go. Look at yourself. Admire yourself. See your beauty. You can learn to shoot, you can learn to fight, but there's no weapon as powerful as your femininity. This is Beauty and the Beast, a podcast in 2 parts. I'm Ann Burke.
And I'm Matt Molinaro. And in the first episode, we review an original piece of media, and in the following episode, we discuss the rebooties.
That's right, and we are on the Femme Nikita TV series from 1997.
Yeah, we are, and that quote, I knew some version of that quote was going to make it.
There honestly was not a lot of quotes to choose from because there wasn't a ton of dialogue in this episode.
We'll get to what this episode included, but
yeah.
One thing I think is funny is there's nothing inherently wrong with what that quote is saying.
Right.
Except for how do you define what do you define as femininity?
Yeah,
and what are you really saying? Because in this context it's lipstick.
Right. Yeah. So I've never seen this before. As we mentioned when we first started out with this Nikita series, the only Nikita media I had ever seen was the reboot with Maggie Q, which is going to be our next episode and our final episode of the Nikita franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never seen this. Have you? I
have seen it. Sort of. I've seen episodes here and there just because it was on TNT or USA, one of the two. And I just would see it on TV every once in a while, like in the background, while I was doing homework or some sort of random art project or playing Game Boy.
I will say that her face looks familiar, and so part of me wonders if I stumbled across it at some point, but because I looked at her filmography and there was nothing else of hers that I'd seen.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
Okay.
And I also, as soon as I saw the opening when we started watching it, I was like, oh, this is familiar. This is familiar to me. So there was that, but I didn't have any idea of the plot. Couldn't have told you anything. Definitely never sequentially watched it.
Okay, yeah, same.
So, understanding this is going to be a TV show version.
Yes.
Beforehand watching it, as opposed to what we've been watching. Did you have any sort of expectations or, hopes or dreams?
My memory of the other Nikita show that I've watched was they did the premise a little bit differently, where Nikita is kind of already part of the organization and you see her kind of mentor and take on under her wing a new recruit. So you kind of don't have to do the whole how did she get into the organization, because you see that happening with somebody else, but they don't have to do the whole setup the way that they do in this series.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that works better because what this episode is the movies, La Femme Nikita or The Point of No Return, condensed into a 40-minute episode. And it is at a breakneck pace that really does I think a disservice to the viewer of getting any sense of who these people are.
Well, I have thoughts about, I agree, and I have thoughts about that concept as well. On the other side of things.
Yes. Okay. True.
Because it does say something, the fact that they were able to get through so much so quickly to what the films did and did not do.
That is, yes. I thought the same thing. Because, literally almost an identical beat for beat of both movies in 45 minutes.
I'm really looking... as I was watching it, I was like, oh, I cannot wait till Ann watches this because I could just see your face.
So, do you have the summary for this?
I do. Let me see here. So, and by the way, this was 1997 to 2001 this ran. 5 seasons.
I know, that blew me away.
96 episodes.
Okay, so I feel like we live in a day and age where, you know, if you're not Game of Thrones, your TV show is getting canceled. And I honestly, I yearn for the days where a very mediocre to bad show can get 5 full seasons.
I do too. Like, let's play.
Honestly.
Let's have fun. Let's jump the shark a few times if we need to.
Agreed. Let's go on her journey.
Let's go on her journey. Let's give her another power. Let's give her a long-lost sister. Whatever you need to do.
100%. A twin with amnesia. Like,
yes.
Come on. Like, give us some breathing room to be fucking ridiculous.
Yes. Throw in some, you know, guest stars that don't make any sense.
Completely. Bring in Brad Pitt on season 9 as your, like, long-lost brother or something.
Yeah, so that just blew me away, because especially after watching it and seeing what the critical reception of it was to keep it for 5 seasons. But the summary, and I think this is of the whole show, not just the episode we'll be talking about,
okay,
is condemned to death for a vicious crime she didn't commit. Nikita reluctantly chooses to live as a secret government assassin whose life is controlled by a clandestine, I never know how to say that word, anti-terrorist organization, Section 1.
Well, do you want to hear something wild? There's a third option that you didn't choose, which is the correct one, which is clandestine.
Oh, God. See, this is why, you know what? When I read things, I feel like I make a decision in my head and I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah,
and
same.
I never started to doubt myself until we started a podcast where we were reading a book. And then you were like, oh, I don't know what the first word was, but what was it?
It might have been brazier.
Oh, for sure that was one of them. But I feel like it was not even like a something that we don't say as often as that.
I might be able to think of it.
Yeah, it might come to my mind. Maybe as we're recording that episode.
Yep.
Okay, so clandestine.
Yes.
Whatever. So there's your summary.
Thank you. Oh,
and then
boy.
the first episode of season 1 is what we're doing, and the title of it was simply Nikita.
Okay. Yes.
Do you want to talk about that? I mean, I don't recognize any of the cast before we go into it. I mean,
no,
Peter Wilson is the star, and Roy Dupuis.
Okay, honestly, I looked at that name and I was like, Dupuis?
I think this was set in Canada, so maybe it's a French-Canadian Dupuis?
Sure, let's go with Dupuis.
That's fun. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know anyone in it, but I just want to shout out Alberta Watson, who plays the character of Madeline or Madeline when we get to her.
Do you know her?
No, but she was memorable.
Oh, yes, for sure. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't recognize... I mean, I've never seen anything else Peter Wilson has been in.
No.
But for some reason, the name seemed familiar, but maybe I'm thinking of, like, Amanda Peet or something like that.
Yeah, it's just has that kind of name. Peter Wilson sounds like a name you've heard before.
Yeah, and she's very beautiful. So it would, you kind of look at her and go like, oh, she seems like somebody I would have seen something in.
She is, and she resembles a lot of actresses who is, I think, mostly due to the styling, and it was the 90s, but she resembles a lot of actresses who were playing parts like this at that time.
Yeah, if you had dyed her hair brown, she could have easily been one of the charmed ones.
Without a doubt. And she basically ended up being one of the charmed ones, like Nemesis sister twins at the end.
Correct. Okay.
Speaking of the timing, when we started this episode out and we got like the title sequence before the real title sequence, so we got like sort of the font on the screen of Nikita and all that kind of stuff. Wow, was I taken back.
Matthew, I started this episode and I was like, is this the title sequence? But no, they have some weird like fever dream montage before the title sequence, which thank God. Okay, I feel like we just need to get into it because it is a experience to watch this movie. I think everybody listening to this, you can find it for free on an app called like Plex or something like that.
Tubi.
Mine was on Plex.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But I feel I need everybody to go watch it because it is especially for the title sequence because it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the false title sequence or the real one later? Both?
The real one.
Real one. Oh, yes, the real one is iconic.
Okay, but we start off with like seeing essentially a premonition of Phoebe from Charmed style editing with lots of swooshes and whooshes
and
like
Charmed music. I wrote down the music is so
yes,
Charmed.
yes, and you know, lots of like camera angles that shift suddenly, and it's kind of like giving you a sort of a very like weird
Disoriented
experience. Yes, thank you. Disoriented is the perfect word.
The frame rate of the way they like kind of do the camera pans is a little bit like it's off a little bit.
Yes,
you get those kind of like blurry lights of the city as they move. It's very like if they were doing a documentary of the time of about like city life, they would put the stuff in the middle.
And so let's talk about the like kind of things we see during this weird non-music video. First of all, Peta Wilson is a white woman with dreadlocks. And I was like, well, whatever fate you get, you deserve because you were a white woman with dreadlocks.
Thank you. I literally, my first note, I'm so glad my first note was, we see a white woman in dreads. And we know that in this montage of her being that in the street with a big like frumpy hat on because they probably couldn't get the dread wig on her without it looking ridiculous.
Yes.
We know she's like kind of wild and crazy because she's doing things like eating pizza.
Okay, eating pizza on the sidewalk. We see her playing with a kitten in the rain.
Yes.
And then we also see like weird intercuts of like her on like an operating room table, but like restrained in like a white room. And I was kind of like, this was the weird thing to me was I think this was meant to give us like a sort of sense of her life before she became Nikita and part of this operative.
Right.
But they clipped in parts of her that were clearly like from her time in the operative, which I was like, well, so this doesn't do what I think you think it's doing? I don't know. I found that weird.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory, and I'm not sure if I'm giving it too much credit, but I'm thinking that at some point we're going to discover in the series what her actual backstory is before she was on the street with the dreads, and that she actually has some sort of connection to them in the past. I have it because, as we'll get into, this makes even less sense why she's chosen.
Yeah.
So that's my theory, but I think it's a red herring to make you think exactly what you said, because I was thinking that the whole time, and then at the end of the episode I was like, what about that weird flashback at the beginning? And then I was like, maybe. Yeah. I also wrote down that with these dreadlocks and in the styling, she looks like a cross between Bret Michaels and the lead singer of Four Non Blondes.
Oh, God, Linda Perry, yes.
At that time.
Okay, I was also going to say, I saw a meme the other day that said... Thorgy Thor on Drag Race, like, getting clowned by the producers is just karma for her white girl dreadlocks.
Aw, yeah.
Anyway, okay. So in this disorienting thing, we also see her like go through an alleyway, and
this made no sense.
It made no sense. Also, there was like weird Disney green lighting everywhere, and we see her kind of like stumble upon a mugging, and you see like a bloody hunting knife in like a guy's hand, and then he attacks her. I assume to like kill her as well.
Yeah,
and she somehow manages to like fight him off and get the knife, and then cops show up just at that moment, and so it looks like she's the one who mugged this guy and killed him.
Which, okay, it's 1997.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic a little. Suspending disbelief for the show, but in this world where all of this is happening, she witnesses a murder randomly, which was really unclear it was even a murder. It was totally weird. The guy just like, and this is why I think there's going to be a backstory to her, because she kind of like fights like a fighter.
Yeah.
She kicks him high or something like that. And he just runs away, and the cops show up now, and he passed him up. They're not going to look around the area. They've got their girl, a woman experiencing homelessness, holding a knife, looking confused in the city. They're not going to look anywhere else. This is the most likely suspect. They're not going to dust her fingerprints on the knife. They're not going to find other DNA. Nothing. Case closed. Come on.
Case closed. And so she's found guilty of murder in the first degree. And by the way, in real viewing time, all of this happens in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, I wrote it down. At the end of this montage that happens, I wrote the entire plot of Nikita's first half of the movie is summed up in literally less than 2 minutes. Literally less than 2 minutes, I timed it.
Yep. And you hear this like audio of a judge saying like sentenced to, you're guilty of murder in the first degree, you're sentenced to life in prison. And then the next thing we see is her getting an injection, which again goes back to the first movie where I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Like, of all of the things Point of No Return did incorrectly, sentencing her to death actually made this make sense. So why didn't they stick with that?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. They had to like have her die in prison, which in this situation makes even less sense.
Yeah.
In the first movie, if that wasn't lost in translation, because in the first movie she was a person who was in like a street gang, for lack of a better term, and was involved in drug deals, and so they had a lot of stuff on her or whatever. So there was maybe eyes on the case. It was this huge shootout. In this one, it was a random killing of a random person in an alleyway by a person experiencing homelessness. This would have not made any news. No one's watching her. No, there's no need to be a murder plot of her with a needle in prison. What?
Right.
No one knows her.
No.
No one even knows this happened. But yeah, the whole plot in 2 minutes, and then yeah.
And then she wakes up in an all-white room, just like in the movies.
But her hair is changed.
Yes, she now has she has bangs, I will say. She has some ferocious bangs.
It's so of the time. She's in that white room, right?
Yes.
Now, and she has they've taken her dreads out. Thank you. First order of business, for sure they got that right. But the hair they gave her is like so wild and so long. She looks like, who does she look like?
Kind of like a Pamela Anderson.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Later on, especially, too. Yeah, this is very Pam Anderson, I would say, throughout the whole movie. That's a perfect, of that time especially.
Yeah. A little Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah, a little Carmen Electra.
Yes. So we get the same thing of like, the guy comes in. This time his name is Michael instead of Bob, which I think is a good choice personally, because I have a hard time taking a assassin named Bob seriously.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Bob's out there.
And I'm pretty sure in the next reboot, I think they name him Michael as well. What are your thoughts on Michael?
Michael is not doing it for me. I'm sorry. Like,
no.
Michael's character is supposed to be in this one like Bob, but he's also he's a little younger than the Bob character. And I'm going to guess that throughout the series, because I see that he's in it for I think the whole time, he's going to be like an on-again, will they, won't they kind of love interest.
Yeah.
That's how they're like posing him, I'm guessing. So for him to be that character, I would expect a little bit of charisma, mystery at most. Like if he's not going to be charismatic, like mystery and like, ooh, and charm. He has the acting ability of a ficus plant.
Yeah.
A dial tone.
A dial tone.
It was so bland, and I'm sorry, but the hair on his head was so distracting to me every time he was on the screen. Yeah,
he had like Goo Goo Doll hair and...
Goo Goo Doll hair, oh my god. I would say even like, you know what the hair reminded me? It reminded me of like Bush, Gavin Rossdale from Bush when they were big, but he doesn't have enough hair to make that hairstyle work, so it just ends up looking a little bit like...
greasy.
Yeah. Oh, God. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here. You are not... You? She is way out of your league.
Also, he really did have the, like, style and look of a demon from Charmed who would get vanquished in about 2.5 seconds.
Without a doubt.
And he acts... It's as though they gave him the acting instructions of, like, pretend you're the vampire Lestat. Like, you're just a ancient vampire, and that's all they gave him to work with. Like, he has no range at all. He delivers everything in the same monotone.
Except for once, I think I wrote it down, too. There's one moment where he really shows his range.
His range. He does not do it for me at all.
No.
I think he is, in this episode at least, a horrendous actor.
Agreed. And he does not come off as like her boss or her like superior. He comes off cross as like completely her equal, if not lower.
Yeah. He does not have the gravitas to pull off a like senior secret operative kind of thing. He seems like just like the messenger boy. He seems like he should be pushing a mail cart around the operative headquarters.
He should be like the guy, the sidekick character who like always wants to be training the operative, like that gets all the attention, but never gets it and becomes like the bad guy.
So she's like, what do you want with me? And he says, in 2 years, we're going to turn you into, an operative or whatever. And she's like, why do you want me? And he says something like, we want a woman with your looks who can kill in cold blood.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, at least you think I'm hot.
Right? She's like, I mean, toss her hair back. Like, okay. I mean... Sure, I get that, but she's like, I'm not a killer, which she's not. We know she didn't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, same thing as before. Like, here's your plot. Do it or die. And then
she jumps on him from behind. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So she jumps on him from behind and like tries to attack him. And he throws her to the ground. And he says, when you attack someone from behind, go for the kidneys. It disables them and they can't fight back. Okay. Cool, bro.
It sounded like a guy who's taken like a karate class.
100%.
And wants everyone to know like how badass he is now.
Okay. I have to bring up something at this point, which is her accent and his accent are all over the place, because sometimes she speaks like she's American. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she has a British accent. And then other times I was like, is she Australian? And sure enough, she is an Australian actress, but I legitimately could not tell you for the life of me. If you gave me just the voices to listen to, I would have no idea what country these people were supposed to be in.
Yeah, it was very confusing. The only reason I know it was in Canada was because we had to look it up for this exact reason, because we kept wondering, like Davey heard the Britishness, and I was like, I think she's Australian maybe, but they're also filming in Canada, so maybe it's like a French-Canadian, because there was a little bit of like a French accent that would come in, and there was a lot of French in the movie.
Yeah, the Michael actor for sure sounded French sometimes.
So it was confusing. It was like when you watch an investigation discovery show where they do reenactments because they film in, I think, Australia, but they try to do American accents or British accents.
Yes.
That.
Okay. And so then he says, so we're going to like turn you into this operative. And she has a line where she says, and if I don't want to. And the way she delivers it is like the Ghostbusters, there is no Dana, there is only Zool. Like, it is the weirdest line reading I've ever heard in my life, where she's like, and if I don't want to.
Yeah, it was.
What are you doing?
I was like, okay, Sally, just say Raphael.
And then we get the actual intro, which is, I might need to just like favorite it on YouTube, because it is legitimately one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen in my life.
It was like the quality of I was blown away at how outrageous it was. It got worse and worse. It got more and more outrageous. Tons of green screen, obviously. There was French music. There was French speaking dialogue in the opening at one point.
Yes.
They do a lot of like cuts of her doing like sexy poses in with a gun or like with a random item, just like flashing past the screen, which will have like test tubes on it or a grid. And
I think legitimately, I do think a solid percentage of the footage for this, they put her in front of a green screen and said, toss your hair around and try to look sexy while holding this gun. And then it was just like a RuPaul's Drag Race. It was worse quality than some of the shit you see on RuPaul's Drag Race.
In the mini challenges.
Yes.
This was a creepy crawlers commercial from the 90s.
I couldn't get enough. If you gave me a show that was just more of this opening, I would watch that over the actual show.
Oh, me too. And I know a lot of openings were like this back in the day. This was especially cheesy though. And I almost wanted to look up if it changed in the later seasons, but I have a feeling it didn't.
I hope it didn't, because it's truly a miracle to behold.
Yes, it's like when you watch the movie The Net and you see what the internet looked like.
Oh, God.
It's like that.
I forgot about The Net. That was Sandra Bullock, right?
Yes, if they rebooted it, it's a must.
Oh, a must. I remember kind of thinking it was fun, but it's probably so bad at this point.
Yeah, it's probably garbage, but I loved it as a young person when it was in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to be Sandra Bullock.
Who doesn't? Okay, so we come We come back from the title sequence, and it's a slow motion of Michael and Nikita walking into the headquarters.
Please.
And in all capitals, I wrote, "Why are they walking like this?" Because they both are doing this like weird, like sexy, like when somebody is auditioning for America's Next Top Model and they do not know how to walk, this is how they walk, because it's like very like over exaggerated, like head in all directions, looking sexy while stomping and swinging your shoulders fiercely. It's insane.
It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I'm so glad you wrote it. I was like, why is she walking like that? Especially her. And it's in slow fucking motion. They really want us to see it.
Yeah.
It's exactly the girl from the America's Next Top Model meme that walks in and then says, I can't do this.
Yes.
I can't do this. It's too much pressure for me, and walks immediately out. It's her mixed with Ramona in the catwalk, because her head does not move while I don't know if you noticed, it's a lot of shoulder swinging, like you said.
Oh, a ton.
But the head remains like a statue looking forward.
If there were an Olympic gold medal for shoulder swinging, she would have won it, and there would never have been anyone who could threaten her title.
Absolutely.
And then, while she is swinging her shoulders wildly, she sees an old hippie, and there's this weird, intense eye connection between them where, like, he's drawn toward her and they're both staring at each other, and it lasts for, like, 30 seconds, and it's never explained.
Yes! I wrote, why is she making eye contact with this random guy? And Davey goes, is that Willie Nelson?
It looks like him.
It looks like if you combined Ben and Jerry.
Yes. Okay. So he takes her to some door and she says, where am I going? And he says, to meet your new mother. And she says, so then who are you? My father? And
he said, no, it was grandma.
It was at this point that I wrote, what are these accents? Because again, they're sometimes French, sometimes Australian, sometimes British, sometimes American.
Yes.
And then the room he takes her into looks like an escape room, a castle-themed escape room.
Yes.
It is the fakest looking stone I've ever seen in my life. There's like a purple dress form and chandeliers.
Oh my god. It is literally like, oh, here's the stage you get for your independent play. Do what you want with it.
So I bet you were pretty surprised at this point, Matt, when Lisa Vanderpump walked on the screen.
Yes. She is so Lisa Vanderpump. Madeline.
Yes. So the actress
this
who
is
plays
the lady
Madeline,
that usually lives in a jewelry box in the other movies.
Yes, and she has, 10 feet of hair in every direction, and
shiny
is wearing
blouse.
a shiny, shiny, shiny blouse.
Shiniest blouse. She's business casual. She is the hair. I feel like every time they closed up on her face, which was a lot, I feel like we got like a little bit of a soft lens.
Yes.
Very like Dynasty.
And yeah, she says, they own you now. And Peter Wilson says, didn't know I was for sale. I was like, oof, this dialogue.
Right.
I have a note that says, I love her weird bang. There's a scene where she like kind of is like looking at her out of the corner of her eye, and her bang is sticking out like 20 feet from her face, like she's Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god. Her hair was everything, so I believe it.
Okay, I'm so confused. So Madeline is, the genie in the lamp.
Yeah, she's Barbara Eden.
Who is meant to transform her into like a respectable woman. Oh, I forgot. There's lots of scenes coming up where you see Peter Wilson like chewing gum, so she's a bad girl.
That's right.
And so this is, her like etiquette coach. But the quote that I said where it was like, look at yourself, admire yourself. She is straight up like molesting her face with her hands while she's talking to her. And Peter Wilson looks to be like being seduced. And I was like, is this about to become like a softcore lesbian porn? What is happening in this scene?
Without a doubt. This was Spice Channel 100%. It was like erotic.
Yes.
It was they had this scene and they were like, you know what? This is USA. This isn't NBC. We could push the boundaries. You're gonna like it. She's literally making like sex faces as she's being touched and told to be a feminine woman.
Yes.
Then the guns.
And then we cut from that to like her using a machine gun, her taking karate lessons, her applying lipstick, her using a computer, and all the while she's chewing gum.
Yes, there's also, like, she's learning all the really important things of being a spy, like you said. Shooting guns, martial arts, tech, and the most important thing, crossing your legs in a skirt.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Oh, God. Okay, so...
Can we talk about the music?
Please.
There was a time when TV shows cared a lot about the songs.
Yes.
It wasn't like songs that just filled the air that like described a scene. It was like you wanted the soundtrack of the season of your show.
Yes.
Someone thought really hard about the vibe of this, and the vibe was you are going to the Bronze on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What is playing?
Except that they lost the original music rights, and so now it's the discount music that they use on Charmed.
100%. Wait, is that the actual truth too?
Oh yeah, so Charmed had this unbelievable soundtrack, and then they didn't keep the music rights, and so now all of Charmed is just like awful.
Oh right, yeah, no, I know
discount music. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the opening is the worst.
Oh, the worst. Ugh.
It was so good.
Yeah.
But was that true for this too, or you're just saying it sounds like it?
Oh, I'm just saying it sounds like
it. I was
it
gonna
could
say.
be true. Maybe it is. Who knows?
I don't think so. It's a lot of like, we're going for Depeche Mode, but we don't have the rights for it.
Yes, yeah.
A lot.
So in the next scene, we see Michael talking to his boss, who is a guy just named Operations in the show.
Yeah, I guess so.
And they're talking about some like big espionage going on, and the like target, the bad guy that is kind of thwarting them, that they want to like take down. His name that they chose is Gideon Van Vactor, which I was like, what fan fiction 12-year-old name choice is this?
100%.
Gideon Van Vactor. Oh, God. Also, Operations, when they did a close-up on him, were we meant to be bothered by the size of his pupils? Because one of his pupils was literally the size of a pin, and it was frightening to look at. Like, I couldn't figure out, like, because the other one was, like, normal size, and I was like, does he have that, like, condition where one pupil dilates more than the other? Is it just the lighting is really intense? Like, I couldn't tell if it was meant to be noticed or not.
The lighting was certainly intense. They really wanted you to know that he is a bad guy.
Yes, he's dangerous. Because he wants Nikita canceled. He says it's been 2 years. She's not trustworthy. You have to cancel her. And Michael, of course, argues for her.
Yes, she's a mistake. Don't fall in love with the material. Are you growing attached?
Oh yeah.
If she fails, you fail. And there's a lot of like, it's the time, but there's a lot of like, someone will say a line and they'll have like a long dramatic sort of like slow pan in on the person's facial reaction, and it's almost like a soap opera.
Except that Michael doesn't have any facial reactions, so you just get a close-up on his dead vampire face.
And then you're like, look at that PC hair.
Ugh, the hair. Okay, so then we get the scene where he's like taking her out to dinner, right? He's like, have Madeline get you something nice to wear. We're going out.
She dresses like Pam Anderson meets Heather Locklear in Melrose Place.
Yes.
She's got PC bangs, eyeliner for days.
Bangs. Yes. We do get a little bit of backstory at the dinner. We learn that basically she's never like really been celebrated like this, apparently, because I guess it's her birthday, or who knows if it's her birthday, but she's like, I've never really done anything like this because basically I've been homeless for like 10 years or more. And he's like, why? Which wouldn't you think they would have had this conversation in the last 2 years? But right. She says that her mother liked her boyfriend more than her and so told her to get out. She's been homeless since then. So we get at least a little bit of backstory this time. Mm-hmm. Little bit.
Yeah, a little piece.
And then we get the same like gun in the box, kill the guys behind me, etc. Although this time it's not just kill them, it's he has a PDA in his briefcase. And I was like, a PDA? Oh my God. Wow,
That
what a
took me
time.
back.
Yeah.
He's got a floppy
boy.
disk.
Honestly, I mean, wasn't there in Point of No Return? What didn't she? Yeah,
Oh.
she stole a floppy disk.
Yes, that's right. That took me
Amazing.
back too. Imagine it was. Remember when floppy disks were floppy?
So yes, I do. And I have been rewatching Girls recently on HBO, and
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should. It's
Okay.
definitely worth watching. It came out in 2012, I think, and the iPhones are like the sizes of Tic Tacs, and all of the like you see the like shutter of the camera lens like when they take photos and stuff, and it's like, whoa, this is like taking me back.
Wow, I gotta check it out.
Okay, anyway, so gun in the box, get the PDA, blah, the window in the ladies' room, there's a car, blah, blah.
5 minutes or less.
Yes.
He leaves. She looks a little teary-eyed at the gun, and she's just, again, we went back to like just having the gun out at the table, not at all surreptitious whatsoever.
No, not at all.
She very not smoothly, in my opinion, walks over to the people and says, she knocks the guy out. I forget how she does it. Probably a little elbow. And then she tells the other guy to open the briefcase to give her the PDA or whatever. He says, no. So she shoots the ceiling.
She shoots the ceiling, and then he still won't open it, and so she shoots the briefcase open.
And grabs the item and runs, and he just, like, kind of shakes his head at her or something like, oh, you're whatever. I was like, all of this is happening, no one's doing anything. She's, like, a lady in a dress that is way too short. What is going on here? No stopping or anything, nothing.
Also, I just need to point out that the man she is taking the PDA from looks to be about 17 years old with the worst Billy Idol bleached hair and like row of earring hoops on one ear only. And it was really a look.
It was a choice.
Yeah. And also, again, much like the other movies where it makes no sense that there's like an entire army of men suddenly showing up with like semi-automatic weapons.
Right.
He says, I've got my men everywhere. You'll be dead in a matter of seconds. And of course, she runs to the bathroom. It's bricked up, blah, blah. We get the same kitchen gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think only the first one, I honestly think the kitchen fight in the original La Femme Nikita was the best one.
Oh, yeah. The last one was a salad shooter.
Yes.
Totally outrageous. And then this one was totally pointless.
And very low budget, very badly choreographed.
Yeah, very, very, very bad. And I feel like in this one, all of her quote-unquote fight choreography through this whole thing was just opportunities to, like, flash her cooch. Yeah. Honestly. It was like, take off your shoe and, like, bend over. It was all that kind of nonsense that was so iconic of this time.
Yeah. So same thing where she jumps down the trash chute, somebody shoots a grenade, she makes it to the car, and this time she and Michael fight in the car, and she doesn't attack him this time, I don't think, unless I looked away. But he says, we had to see if you could improvise. And she's like, you're sick. You don't want a person, you want a machine. Okay, girl.
She says it like a teenager in like a after-school special.
Yes. And he takes her straight from there to an apartment, and she's like, what is this? Where am I? And he says, this is your apartment. By the way, he is wearing the tightest dress shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Very tight. Very, very, very tight. And he's like, this is your apartment, blah, blah, blah. Here's all your IDs. Your code name is Josephine. And, what was I going to say? Oh, this was what bothered me so bad. So he's like, your code name, here's all your ID, whatever. And the backstory that he gives her, like, she's not like a nurse or anything. Like, he says, if anybody asks, just tell them you're between jobs, which I was like, what a weak backstory. That's all you're giving her. She's this highly trained covert operative, and you're like, just tell him you're looking for work. What a stupid, lazy piece of writing.
100%. Well, what's the value they have of women in this?
Nothing.
So they're like, oh, she doesn't need to have a job.
Yeah.
No one was going to ask her if she has a job.
And then we get kind of a Mentos commercial. She's like decorating her apartment. There's like this weird shot of like a row of like 900 pairs of sunglasses hanging from safety pins that she's like, I guess, hung up as decoration in her apartment.
Yeah, they really want us to know she's kooky and light and eccentric and fun.
Yeah, she's got more depth than just this assassin.
Yeah, she's got more depth. Now she likes plastic sunglasses.
Yeah, she's cool and quirky. She's not like the other girls.
No, she probably has a beanbag in her room.
Oh my god. Okay. So now this next thing that happens, Matt, is the weird, like, is so strangely shot to me. So she's playing with sunglasses, like you do.
Right.
Somebody knocks on her door and she starts playing with a wire for a while and like wrapping wire around her hand and like also stripping out some wire from the edge of removing the rubber coating from some of the edge of the wire as though she's going to make some sort of weapon with it.
I didn't know what this was.
I don't either. And then she looks through the peephole and sees a woman holding a fiddle leaf fig plant. And so she opens the door with like the chain out so you can like just see her eyeball poking out from the side of the door, and she doesn't say anything. And the woman is like, "Hi, I'm Carla. I live across the hall." And she goes, "Who sent you?" And she goes, "I live across the hall." And she's like, "Okay, well, I guess welcome to the building. I brought you a coffee plant," which I was like, "That's a fiddle leaf fig." And starts to walk away. And Nikita, who this whole time has been mute or screaming at her, "Who sent you?" opens the door and goes, I have to back off the mic for this. "Carla? Hi, I'm Nikita." As though they're like, she's suddenly so excited to meet her, or she's like, "Oh, Carla, I've heard of you. I'm Nikita. It's so great to finally meet you. Jimmy's told me so much about you." The line delivery made no sense. If somebody acted like that to me, I would be like, okay, I need to move because I cannot live across the hall from somebody who is clearly disconnected from reality this way.
Absolutely. And maybe I'm a cold person. I'm sorry. Unless my new neighbor is like, I really want to be friends with this person for some reason, I'm not bringing you a plant when you move in.
No.
Especially if you live in an apartment building.
Yeah, I'm not...
Friggin' mind?
I'm not a very neighborly person. I tend not to know the people who live around me.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a guy that's like super hot that I just want to like... be friends with Davey. And what we would realistically do instead is just like put ourselves around him enough so that he had to say something to us.
Yes.
That's how you do it. I'm like a plant.
So Carla, by the way, is dressed like Blossom.
Dressed like Blossom, dressed like Six, styled like
Yes.
Felicity for season 1.
Yes.
We are meant to know immediately that she's the best friend character. Okay, she's not the star.
No. And they're like gossiping, gabbing when she gets a phone call with codename Josephine, which I was like, that's, again, what country are we supposed to be in?
Right.
But sure.
Why?
So she gets her first job, which is the same like hotel thing, but this time it's a lipstick. It's a bomb hidden in lipstick. Fun and girly. And they're trying to have her take out Gideon Van Vactor, but everything goes sideways. Like there's a bellboy who wasn't supposed to be in the room. She's ordered to shoot him, but she disobeys. And she runs away and she tells Michael, like, "I couldn't pull the trigger because I'm not who you think I am. I'm not a killer." Mm-hmm. And so they're like, okay, plan B, like we have to get to Gideon Van Vactor before he gets to the airport. So they staged this unbelievably elaborate, like, trap where, okay, Matt, this scene too, so, like, Gideon Van Vactor is in his car on the way to the airport, and there's, like, an accident up front, and then, like, him and 5 men get out of his car, and they're just, like, standing in the road, looking around, and it looks like some kind of, like, apocalyptic thing, where there's, like, a car crash, they're on fire, the ambulance is arriving, but it's a solid, like, 3 minutes of them just like looking around and you're like, what's happening? And then suddenly he goes, "It's a trap." And like 100,000 people pull out guns and everybody just starts shooting at each other.
Okay. All of this was so bizarre. From the moment she won't shoot the guy. What does she think she's training for this whole time?
I know.
The whole
Come on.
premise that they're going with this whole time is she won't kill somebody.
Right.
What is the point? Why was she friggin' chosen? Even the killing, quote unquote, that she was responsible for was like a sloppy street killing of a random person. It should no like skill.
Yeah.
She will not kill through her whole training, I'm sure. She's not going to kill now, and she's a killer. What is the point? I don't understand. And then he goes when she's in trouble for not killing. This is when what's his name? Michael has this big moment. I'm going to do an impression. Yeah. He's mad at her, so he's pacing back and forth, and she's sitting down, and he wants her to like get up and let's go.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Get up Stand. That was supposed to be like him startling her into it.
Yeah. Oof.
I was like, ooh, he's getting mouthy. He's really showing his range. To get the Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this whole scene, the whole time the guy was looking around, who looks like very much like Christopher Walken, I felt like.
Yeah.
I was like, I honestly couldn't remember who he was. I was like, is this the bad guy? I don't really know. Is this the target? Is this Operation guy? Why is he looking around? What's happening? How long is this going to go on for? And then I did think it was cool that they had the way they had staged the accident and stuff, and how it was really them and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, that was cool. Like, you know, the ambulance people were all in on it, and like even the person on the stretcher was just like her, I think, or something like that. But it, like you said, there were like a million people shooting at each other, and I just kept thinking, like, they have this big operative.
Yes.
That has enough people to set this whole thing up and set up this whole sting and kill. But they're like desperate to keep Nikita on the payroll.
Also, they're like, we're the most several times say that we're the most clandestine organization in the world. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure having a 50-person gun shootout in the middle of, I thought this was New York, in the middle of whatever big city this is not very clandestine.
Nor is having an operative shoot someone in a restaurant and steal a PDA and run out to a car.
Yeah.
In front of everybody. In a cocktail dress.
For some reason, this fight ends up in the sewers below ground, which is fun for no reason. And Van Vactor like gets the drop on her, and she's like, maybe he has the wildest line delivery. So he's trying to figure out who Nikita is. He's like, how do I not know you? And I was like, well, again, it's a clandestine organization.
Right.
But then he screams at her, where do you come from? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, where? That's not a sentence you could ever say to another human being. Like, where do you come from implies a recurring pattern. Like, it's not even where are you from, or like who are you with, or what organization are you part of. Where do you come from?
Yeah.
Is so weird.
It is so weird. It implies that this has happened before. Like, why do you keep showing up?
But then we get my favorite moment of the whole episode, which is she's maybe about to be killed by Van Vactor, or Gideon Van Vactor. And then Michael jumps from a trampoline into camera. I swear to God, like, you actually see the bounce of the trampoline. I want to go back and just watch it again, because it is the most cartoonish. Like, it's meant to be like he drops down from the ceiling, but you can clearly see he has like jumped from the side off of a trampoline to make this stunt.
It's embarrassing. It's like Napoleon Dynamite.
It is so embarrassing, like really embarrassing choreography. And, you know, there's a gun shootout, and like at the last minute, she ends up shooting somebody who is about to kill Michael from behind. And so you see her having actually killed somebody for the first time. And then it cuts to her in her apartment burning her funeral photos. And then the phone rings and you hear Josephine. Yeah. And that's the end of the episode.
Before we get to the end of the episode, I want to describe the scene.
Okay.
To really explain what she's doing here. She's not just burning her photo. She's in a room with about 75 candles lit.
Yes, easily.
Yeah, and she's like on the floor reminiscing over it with like a one shoulder cozy sweater off.
Yeah, very flash dance.
And when she burns it, they pan up past her, like her face, over the fire.
Yeah.
Could not even handle it. It was like a music video of the time. It was embarrassing.
It could have easily been in like a Guns N' Roses music video.
Oh, 100 times. In this, if they just muted it, it could have been a Guns N' Roses video. It could have been like a Mazzy Star video at times.
Yeah. Okay, would you like a couple of pieces of trivia about this show?
I would love it.
Okay, the first one was something that I have wanted to say since the beginning, which is that according to the creator, nobody liked the actor who played Michael for the first several episodes because of the slow way that he interpreted his role and his lack of emotions. But by episode 3, they understood he'd made the right choice for the part. And I just love that the creator had to be like, yeah, everybody hated him, but he ended up good, which makes me wonder, like, maybe he does end up better.
I mean, maybe. I looked him up. He's certainly very handsome now.
Is he?
He is, yeah. He's kind of like a daddy.
Oh, well, I'll have to look at him without the gross hair.
The gross hair is gone.
Thank God. Okay, the sunglasses is actually a thing. So PETA Wilson, those are all her sunglasses, because it's a eyewear company that she owned with her business partner. So it was just straight up product placement for her sunglass company.
I am shocked that they chose such a poor way to integrate it in if it was actually her business.
Agreed.
Like, not surprised that they did that kind of thing, but if you really want to, that was that?
Yeah.
They looked so cheap.
They looked terrible. They looked like gas station sunglasses.
They were hanging from, like you said.
Safety pins.
Yes. Okay.
So this next one is amazing. So there was like a change in management in the network midway through like the third season or whatever, and they decreased the publicity funding for the series, and they were required to incorporate professional wrestlers into their storylines in order to promote the network's flagship WWF programming.
Wow. I mean, if that doesn't say 90s to me, nothing does.
Correct. Kind of like that episode of Charmed where they suddenly have professional wrestlers in the episode. Okay, and then this last one is amazing, which is I didn't notice, and I wondered if you would notice, but I'm guessing you didn't either since you didn't mention it. When she dives down the garbage chute to escape the grenade, they use the exact same footage from The Point of No Return. So that's not her. It's just footage from the film that we reviewed last week.
Wow. I'm not surprised because that scene... Are we talking about like when she comes out of the chute?
No. When she's sliding down it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that scene looked so strange to me in general.
Yes.
I was like,
it was very like different from what we were watching.
Yeah, because I am 90% sure that the body that comes out of the chute at the bottom was a mannequin.
Yeah. Okay. Give me the ratings for this thing.
All right, so it's a TV show, so it was a little hard to get the ratings, but I was able to get like an IMDb rating for the series and a Rotten Tomatoes rating for the episode.
Okay, great.
Okay, so IMDb for the series at large is a 7.5.
Wow, okay.
And I will say most of the rating type stuff I looked at in general about this trended high.
Okay.
And then the episode got a 50% tomato and a 50% popcorn meter reading.
Wow. Okay. I honestly, so this was something that was so cheesy and dated and bad in so many ways that I kind of had a great time watching it because it was so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And
I struggle with how to then rate that because I'm like, it was objectively really bad, but I found it very entertaining. So I guess maybe a 5 then?
Okay.
What about you?
I'm honestly, and I understand how this might look against other ratings, I'm going to give it a 6.
Wow.
Because I agree. It was madcap fun. It was harmless for the most part, the stuff that was ridiculous.
Yes.
Except for it just falls prey to what we see a lot of times of these female-led spy things where it's like...
Oh, yeah.
So much more about like how many poses can we put you in the tightest, shortest stuff so that like a lot of men watch it and be like, ooh, like there's no character development at all. Like she gets like a moment in this episode, like you said, where we get a tiny bit of backstory from her, and it's honestly the best acting she does through the whole episode.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything else was just a lot of like Maxim magazine photo shoot nonsense, you know? So that completely. It keeps me from going any higher. But other than that, I thought it was harmless fun. And the music, we were dying at the music.
It's something else. And honestly, again, I just have to repeat the call to the listeners. You must go find the title sequence for this on YouTube. It is it's just pure gold. It is pure gold.
You could make a similar version of it yourself today.
100%. If somebody gave you, I would say, a budget of $4.50, you could recreate the title sequence for this show.
100%. I've seen Instagram creators who are like mocking people's content do a better job of this opening.
So, okay, here's where I'm stuck, though. Was this a beauty or a beast? I think I have to go beast because it was so atrocious, but it was a beautiful beast, is what I will say.
Oh, it's like Kelly Clarkson, Beautiful Disaster.
Yes.
I am going to also call it a Beast, but I'm just going to make sure I am clear. And this can go for many Beast movies I pick. I'm calling it a Beast because it is what it is. I'm not delusional. I can't walk around and say this was spectacular work. But, I love a Beast.
I mean, I think, do you remember the Nosferatu one we watched that was so unbelievably low budget?
Yes.
That it was, I think it's incredible and you have to watch it. That's kind of how I feel about this, where it was like, whoa, this is bad, like bad writing, bad costumes, bad music, bad line delivery, bad accents. Like it was bad in every way you could imagine. And so for that reason, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was memorable. And it wasn't bad because it wasn't trying or it was lazy. It was really swinging.
Also, I just had to scroll back and look at that Nosferatu and look at our scores for it. I gave that one a 9 and called it a beauty, and you gave it a 3.5 and called it a beast. Oh, God, I loved that so much. It was so bad. Okay. All right. One quick note to our listeners. So next week we are finishing our Nikita series, and then we are actually taking several weeks off because Matt and I are both traveling a lot over the next month, and then Matt is moving across the country to be my neighbor again, and so it's just not going to work out for us to record for several weeks. So I think we will be back in September, which I know is a long time to wait, but we've got another podcast called Cool Story if you miss us in the meantime, but just wanted to mention that before we close out here.
Yeah, we'll remind you next week, but it didn't make any sense. We found like a tiny little window of time in between to record, but these podcasts are in parts, so it would have been like a mess. So
yeah,
we'll come back strong, and when we're neighbors, maybe we'll have some in-person recordings to start to share with you all.
Yes. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed listening to this and would like to show your gratitude, we would love it if you could write us a review on whatever platform you're using to listen to this, and also just subscribe to the podcast.
Another thing we would love is if you could recommend our show to a friend or a colleague, anyone really, because you have great taste and people probably respect your opinion.
That's right. Our social media is RebootyPod on Instagram. I post some funny stuff on there, so you should check it out. And you can also email us at rebootypod@gmail.com.
Yes, thanks for listening to Rebooty and the Beast.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.